What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one, the only Ash Brown, and this is the ashsaiditshow. Over 1,800 episodes, 500,000 streams around the world, and growing. So we appreciate each and every one of you guys, and thank you so much for all of the downloads. So today we are joined by the wonderful Dr. Frieda Birnbaum. Hi, Dr. Frieda. How are you today?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing pretty awesome. So the topic today, we're talking about the emotional prenup. Now, where did this concept of an emotional prenup come from?
Well, it seems that we prepare for divorce. It's all about preparing for the marriage so we may not have to get a divorce. So that always puzzled me. So I decided to have some segments or do a show on what couples really want so that they can keep reassessing where the marriage needs to go.
I like that. So we'll just say, hypothetically, there's a new couple that they're considering marriage and they come to you. What are some of the steps that you would take with them as far as helping them to create their emotional prenup?
Well, the first thing is to set priorities, to find out what is most important to each person. Now, infidelity is on the top of the list. Mm-hmm. And then we talk about money issues. That's one of the most main reasons why people get a divorce, believe it or not, because if there isn't infidelity, there's usually money issues. Who is a saver? Who is a spender? Is it going to be a joint account? Usually that's the way it should be. And then each person has their own individual account. How much should each person have? It's usually the same no matter how much each partner makes. Mm-hmm. So this way it's equal. And then we talk about entertainment and travel expenses, how often to travel, down the lines to children. If you have children, do you want more children with a new spouse? Or is it something that you want to not go through? Usually, if you care about the other person, you would have a child to make sure that person is being fulfilled in every way. So we have to look at the intricacies of marriage, what that means. One important part is agreeing with each other to know that you're there to make sure that the other person gets their needs met as well. You're not alone anymore. So that's very vital to the marriage.
Yes. So this emotional prenup, the main purpose is to prevent divorce, correct? That's the main purpose.
To prevent divorce, yes. Right. The main purpose is to get your needs met so there are no surprises that this way, if you have needs that you don't know about it, you work through during the marriage. That's really what we need to do, because usually after the marriage is when they try to settle things, and then it's too late. Often a woman will want her freedom to be able to self-identify. Why not do that during the marriage rather than wait so it's over and then they're free? So we can work things through as a preventative measure. And that's what we need to keep doing.
Gotcha. So if the emotional prenup is to prevent divorce, what happens if one partner, doesn't live up to what the prenup says? What kind of stipulations there?
Well, that's a great question. That's a great problem. But what you do is you go through the contract again. You go over it, and you make sure that you are reestablishing the old patterns. This is an agreement. This is not therapy.
Right.
This is an agreement that has been set that each person is entitled to. Not trying to work anything through. So what is very important to one person may not be that important to another. But still, it's not about you. It's about compromise. It's about knowing what to expect. Because, marriage is supposed to be comfortable.
Right.
It's supposed to be a place of safety and security. If a person changes their mind on you, and that original contract is broken, it takes away from that security. So that's why this emotional therapy is something you can back up for yourself. You can lean on. You know that you're going to see the in-laws X amount of time, and you don't have to look close to them if you don't want to. You know what I'm saying? That you don't have to suffer. Also, even how you fight. Some people really know how to hurt each other when they're fighting. How do you prevent that hurt from being established?
Gotcha.
Do you talk about your history? There's certain boundaries and limits that need to be set because there will be fights. So it's not about making a perfect situation because there will be none.
Right.
But it's about how to get along within the perfect experiences that you have together.
I like that. I really do. Now, Dr. Birnbaum, if someone wants to get in contact with you, maybe a couple is listening to this segment and they're like, you know what, we need to go and talk with Dr. Frieda. How do they need to get in contact with you?
You can actually either email me, Dr. DLCTOR, at gmail.com, or there's a website, frieda.com, so they could do that. But the most important thing when we're talking about all this is to know that there's going to be difficulties, is to know that you have this paper to work through again, and to know that it's not about being right or wrong. It's about who's the most effective. That's where we need to go, because what happens often is that our egos get in the way. Yeah. And when that happens, we don't know about what's effective. We try to be right, and then we work against ourselves. So when we argue what to expect, now some people are very quiet and they repress their feelings. And that could be painful for a partner. Yeah. I've had people come into my office, patients, the spouse hasn't spoken in 3 days. Because of something that they probably forgot why. And then the other person is the one that attacks, and that's their style. So be aware of those styles, be prepared, because that in itself can be very painful.
Yes, I love that. Dr. Frieda, thank you so much for coming through today. We certainly appreciate you. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you so much for all of your love and support. Keeping in mind, anyone to tell you that you can't do what you want to do, you look them square in the face, you tell them, don't believe me, just watch. Watch what I do. Watch me make it happen. Watch me make history. That's what we're doing this for, the history books. Social media is nice, but real life is a little bit better. Until next time, you guys.